Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, I am recording this early today because in the afternoon I shall be going to a big football match at a stadium I've never been to before to support my local team against Simon's favourite team in a big cup final. So you'll know, you'll be able to find out how that will have gone when you watch this, but I won't know because I'm recording it before it happens. So we shall see. Now, the puzzle. I'm going to mention that this is the weekend of the Grand Prix round in the Sudoku Grand Prix. I don't remember whose round it is. I'm sorry, I've forgotten. But I do remember it's this weekend, and I will be checking into that at some point before the Monday close as well. So if you want to spend an hour and a half racing yourself on puzzles, give that a go. Hopefully I'm going to be doing it on printed out forms this time, although actually it didn't go so badly using the software last time. I don't know, might think about that. Anyway, that'll be this weekend as well. Now, to celebrate that, I'm doing a puzzle that would not get a sniff of entry into that competition because it's too hard, I believe. That's what I'm told. I don't know. We shall see. I'm absolutely fascinated by this grid, actually. There's so little amount of markings in it. It seems impossible that this is unique. We'll get to that. The other things to mention are our Patreon content. Still a week to enter, nearly a week to enter the equal sum lines competition, which is proving very popular. Well done if you've solved that, or indeed if you've solved Quinlux's BYO Sudoku pack. That is brilliant too. Anything else? Yes. Discord and our apps, they're all available on the links under the video, along with Sven's SUDOKU PAD. But the first link is to this puzzle. It's called 4 Flashes of Enlightenment by, I'm going to say Mila Lemach, and apologies Mila or Mile if that's wrong. I'm sure it's not Mile. Mila's from Germany, so anyway, that's what I've said. Now, the rules are disarmingly simple, but let's remember that there is a knight's move rule. So normal Sudoku rules apply. Identical digits cannot be a chess knight's move apart. So that can't be the same as any of these cells, which are a chess knight's move away. One in one direction and 2 in a perpendicular direction. Digits on an arrow, normal arrow rule, must sum to the number in the circle. So those 3 digits add up to that. There can be repeats on these arrows. Indeed, a couple of these must have repeats on because they're 4 cells long. Do give it a try on the first link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. I mean, okay, I say let's get cracking. How the heck? Right, here's something. This arrow, it's 4 cells long. As I said a moment ago, it has to have a repeat digit on it. And we know exactly where that repeat digit is both times it appears. Now, how can I be so confident? Well, this is to do with the knight's move. Well, first of all, these 3 cells obviously see each other because they're all in box 4, so they have to be different. So this total is clearly going to have to be a total of those 3 cells, which has to be at least 6, plus this, making it at least 7. But I think we can do better than that. Can't type better than that, or not maybe better than that, but the point about these 3 cells is with the knight's move rule, they see each other, and this is, I think, how we can possibly have a grid with just these 4 arrows. The knight's move rule is going to do a ton of work here. These 3 see each other. The reason is these 2 are obviously in the same box as each other. These 2 are in the same column, and these 2 are a knight's move apart. So these 3 have to be different as well. Now, those 2 have to be different from that in box 4. Those 2 have to be different from that in what we've just analysed. And there is a repeat digit, so it has to be there and there. It's obviously not anything as big as 4. So that is 1, 2, or 3. If it's 1, which would allow these that I've highlighted to maximize I suppose one of them could be a 2 and the other could be up to 5, so I can't pencil mark anything else. Now this 4-cell line, this clearly contains, I was going to say a repeat, I'm now going to say at least one repeat. It could actually contain 2. Those 2 could be the same as each other. Actually, there's lots of ways for it to have 2 repeating digits, and it might well do. So I don't think this one is as helpful, weirdly. I'm going to look at this next. Yes, look at that. Ah, yes, look at this especially. Right, these 3 digits, they all see each other to start with. It's exactly the same pattern as here. So for the same reasons, they all see each other. So they're all different. So this is at least 6 straight away, despite only being a 3-cell arrow. We know that. But they all see green, don't they? Yes, they do. That one sees green there. Those 2 see that green. So none of these are the repeated digit from that thing. So these are not 1, 2, 3, because they would need whatever the green value is. Now, they're not green, and they're all different. Right, I'm going to colour them all differently. Blue, yellow, red, the primaries there. So, green, blue, yellow, and red are all different digits. Now, what about these 2? This one can be yellow and this one can be blue, but do they have to be? That's what I'm going to ask. I mean, I strongly suspect they are, but okay, if I was to make one of them not a repeat from over here, let's just imagine I coloured these like this. Then we've got 2 lots of 1 digit, 2 lots of another, and 1 each of 3 others. Yes. And if we minimise the repeat digits, 1s and 2s, that's 6 we've counted up to already. I'm counting the total of these 2 arrows now. Then we've got 3 other colours, and if they're 3, 4, and 5, and this is the minimum they can be, that's another 12. That gives us a total of 18, but you can't put 18 into these 2 cells because they're in the same row, so they can't both be 9s. So no, you cannot have only 1 repeat or none between these lines, and therefore that's not purple, it is blue. And now, do we know the totals? We've got blue, green, and yellow repeating twice each. So the minimum value for those is 1, 2, 3 times 2 is 12, plus 4 or 5 here, giving 16 or 17 here. So yeah, I can't knock out the 7s. I know there's a 9 in one of those 2 cells, and either a 7 or an 8. This actually, ooh, I was going to say I know it's 4 or 5, but hang on. Maybe, how would I get on with 1, 2, and 4 as the repeat digits? 14 and a 4 here, a 3 here. Yes. 1, 2, and 4 as the repeat digits, and a 3 here. That is possible. And that will give us 17, and this would be a 9-8 pair. So I don't think, okay, red can't be less than 3 because it's the odd digit. So it's 3, 4, or 5. These doubles have to be from 1, 2, 3. We can't, oh no, no, I'm saying we could have a repeated 4. I've just worked that out, so let's use it. Okay, so I'm going to try and move on to this arrow now. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but it's what I'm doing. Yeah, and as soon as I say that, I start looking at the top arrow. But no, I'm going to move on to this arrow. Oh, look, yellow can't be in any of those cells. Oh, this blue can't be in any cell on the line. That blue cell itself sees all these 4. 3 of them by Knight's move and 1 directly. Right, so none of these can be blue. Now that's getting interesting, because I thought blue was going to be low, but maybe that's going to prove blue's 4. Now, which of them can be yellow? Well, I've just worked that out. Those can't be yellow. That one could be. Which can be green? These 2 can't be green. These 2 could be. Now, any of them could be red apart from that one. Oh, can I work out from this? I should be able to work out the maximum values or something. I feel I should. Or maybe I have to take these two in concert, because again, their circles can't add up to more than 17. So, what could we have up here? What could be green? This could be green. What could be yellow? This could be yellow. What could be blue? That could be blue. We could have green, yellow, blue up there. Now, maybe green clearly has to be very low. If green was 3, then these two would have to be 1 and 2. Oh, this cell. Ah, that's interesting. Right, I've only just worked out. This can't be blue, yellow, red, or green. Aha, this is a 5th colour. That is purple. And it can't be a 6, because you just need far too much up here. They can't all be 1s. So we've now got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 group of colours. Purple, red, blue, yellow, green are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in some order. You can't have a 6 on this arrow, so it is only made up of these colours. Now, these two could be purple. These, all of them could be red. That's annoying. But other than that, none of them can be blue, and only that can be yellow. So, let's take the greys out, because I think, yeah, these have to come from these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. So these are the possible candidates. Now, I've got to turn these colours into numbers in some way, and not just through synesthesia, unfortunately. Or am I combining with this? Trouble is, any of these could be purple and 2 of them could be red. So I just don't think this is getting easier, particularly from considering that. So maybe I'll focus on this one a bit. Now, how many repeated digits? Well, oh no, let's start with only one of these can be a 4 or 5. I think we worked that out from the total here being 16. These are blue, green and yellow, which repeat on the total of these, have to either be 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 4. They must include 1 and 2. So purple isn't 1 or 2. Purple is 3, 4 or 5. Now if purple was to repeat, the other 2 colours on here would be 1 and 2 and would come from blue, yellow and green. They would have to be yellow and green if purple was to repeat. And indeed, purple would be 3 then. No, this can't be a... Can this be a 5? Yes, it can. Oh, goodness. I still think I'm definitely going to have to work this out to make progress in this puzzle. So I am making no apology for continuing to concentrate on this issue. Now that has to be different, doesn't it? That's purple. So can I establish, if I could take purple out of those, these would all be red, green and yellow. That would be, and red is 3, 4 or 5. I can't have 2 reds in these 3 cells because that's at least 3 and that would be 2 lots of at least 3. Actually, the only way I could have red and purple on here, which have to add up to at least 7, the only way I could have red and purple on here is by having 2 greens that were 1s to go with them, and that would be 9. That's interesting. That feels quite significant. Now, can I prove that there is purple or red on here? No, because the other way out of it, either that is the case, purple and red will be 3 and 4. Oh, there's nothing to be 5 then. No, that's no good. Right. Okay, I've just proved one of these two is a 5 because 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 are these colours and the only candidates for 5 are in these two. So either red or purple is a 5. Now, you can't, and both are at least 3. So if you were to put red and purple on this line, you would have 8 plus 2 other cells, and that would bust this cage. So there is no red on this line at all. Aha! So that is now green. If you have 2 purples, that can just work if purple was 3 and green and yellow were 1 and 2. That can just work. So I'm not sure about these two, but I am now sure that this is green. And in fact, the green in row 6 is in one of those 2 cells, so it seems quite likely to be here, but likely doesn't butter any parsnips, as none of my grannies ever used to say. I'm just trying to mark, I'm not going to do this yet. I probably am going to do this eventually. Blue is in one of those 2 positions and I don't know which. Now, okay, we've got up, I think, to 8 or 9 in any version of this. If that's yellow and double green, no, actually green could be 1, yellow could be 2, that could be 3, this would only be 7. So it's at least 7, that's the minimum there. Red's not really doing much else, is it? Okay. Which of these is 5? If red is 5, yellow and blue are 1 and 2. If purple is 5, yellow and green are 1 and 2. One of them is 5. So either yellow and blue are 1 or 2, or yellow and green are 1 or 2. So yellow is always 1 or 2. It's not 3 or 4. Now 4 is definitely blue. Oh no, it could be purple. I was going to say it's definitely on this line, but no, it could be purple. Can blue be 4? Which I suspect it's not. Now the way for blue to be 4, then these add up to 8. Green is repeated here. That's going to have to be 1 or 2. So this group of cells would then add up to 14. This would be a 3. And these would add up to 17. So that would be 3. Blue would be 4. I don't know that I'd know which way round yellow and green went. No. Sorry, blue would be 4. Red would be 3. So purple would be 5 in that situation. It would have to be. Then we would know that green was 1 and yellow was 2, and that is possible. Yeah, that would then add up to 8, and this would add up to 9. That's interesting. That seems quite likely, actually. But I didn't think blue was going to be 4, so that's a little surprising. So let's have another think about. If blue is 1, 2, or 3, then these all add up to 12, plus that to get to 16 or 17, and it couldn't be a 3 anymore. In fact, this would be a 4-5 pair, which is fine. That would actually have to be, no, 4 or 5 to give 7 or 8. Oh, I can't quite see this. Now, this can't. Can this be purple? Yes, it can, if green and yellow are 1 and 2. Okay, I'm a bit stuck there. That's really irritating. Right, let's think about this. This can't be red, yellow, or blue. So it could be green or a sixth colour. Let's call a random sixth colour grey, which is going to have to be at least 6. And in that situation, that would mean that was a 1-2 pair to make a total of 9 there. Oh, that's interesting. So if I can prove that's not happening with a 1-2 pair here. Now, what were the combinations of 1 and 2? They were either, I can't remember now, they were either yellow and green if that was a 5, or if that's a 5, they're yellow and blue. So 1 and 2 are either yellow and blue or yellow and green, and one of these is a 1-2, oh no, that one could be a 1-2 pair. No, wrong. Or that one's a 1-2 pair. So in one of these cases, these can't be. No, I don't know. I mean, it's not thrilling to rule out that one of these is not 1 or 2. It does mean this can't be a 6, actually, because there's no way for this to be 1 and 2 under that rule. So this is one of our colours, that red, blue, green, yellow, purple, and it's not blue or green. Thrilling. Red, yellow, or purple there. This is not. Now, could this be a 6? Actually, you could have a 6 here and 2 1s there. Maybe I haven't even thought of that. Could those both be 1s? No, because 1 must be green, yellow, or blue, and they get both seen. Now, how about those two? Could they both be 1s? No, because that sees blue and green and that sees yellow. So no, they can't. So 7's not possible at least. Now, could that be a 1-2 pair? That's what I'm asking next. I'm trying to cover all the bases here and I'm finding it very complicated. They'd have to be from blue, yellow and green. So that would be green and that would be yellow. That does look possible. Then this could be 6. So dark grey is possible here as well as red, blue and purple. And that is a multicoloured cell that is doing me no use at all. Oh, goodness. Why is this so hard to prove? There's something I hadn't thought about proving. Maybe I could prove those two cells can't be the same, because they see all of these cells by Sudoku, but unfortunately the third one could be there. Now these two can't be the same, obviously, because they're in the same column. So if this is repeated up here, it is here and here and here. Now I don't think that's going to be profitable. I think I'm just missing something about this colouring. Come on. They can't both be purple, obviously, so at least one of them is yellow or green, and possibly both. What does that do? It really doesn't look like it does much for me, I'm afraid. Wow, I really am struggling to see what we can do here. So, can I prove this is a 4-5 pair? Maybe the total of all these things together, maximum of 26 with a 9, 8 and a 9. Now, what have we got? We've got 2 yellow, 2 blue, 3 green. So we'll make green the minimum 1, yellow the next minimum 2, blue the next minimum 3. What are we up to? 9, 11, 13, 16, 19. 4 and 5 here gets us up to 28. And now I'm confused, because didn't I just say 26 as the total for these arrows? As a max. 17, 26. Yes, I must have done the maths wrong. 3 1s is 3, plus 2 and 2 is 5, it's 7, plus 3 and 3 is 13, plus 4 and 5 is 22. Wow, and if that's all right, and they're absolute minimums, then the maximum for these is 4, being a 1 and a 3. But we made green the minimum 1, so that would have to be green. And that could be 2, and we'd have a degree of freedom, but it couldn't be 3. Oh, it couldn't even, I mean, this is 4 or 5 under this. So what I need to do is work out if making blue 4 spoils this. I think now that green's been repeated 3 times, it can't be 3. Let me just check that first of all. 3's there, 9. 2 1s and 2 2s here, that's another 6, that's 15. Then you'd have a 4 5 here is 24, and a 1 2 here, absolute minimum, would take us up to 27, which is too much. So yes, green is not 3. Now green and yellow are 1 2 as a pair. Right. Well, that's probably been available and obvious to people for some time. Now, blue, red and purple are a 3 4 5 set. Interesting. So obviously I'm sure if I do this again, these add up to, I'm going to do it again, 3 1s. Can I prove that green is 1? 3 1s, 1 2 3 5 7 from the yellows. Now let's make blue the minimum it can be. 3 10 13. Then we have a 4 and a 5 here, and we're up to 22, and that's what gives us the license to put 4 here. And if we make blue bigger, i.e. 4, then we can only put a 1 and 2 here. They would have to be green and yellow. So the only way these can add up to 4 is if blue is 3. Is that really right? Let's try purple as 3, and one of these as purple, and the other as the 1. So let's make the greens 1. 1 2 3 4 6 8. Purple is 3, 11, 14, 18, 22, 27. It's too much. I think that proves there is no purple here. That is the only way. You minimize green because there's the most of those, and make that green. That's 4. Yellow 6, 8. 2 blues 11, 14. 1 red. No, 2 blues will have to be 4. So 12, 16. Now you have your 2 purples as 3s, 19, 22. That has to be 5. 27, it's too much. So you cannot have a purple here. That's been proved, and these are green and yellow and a 1 2 pair. And now what? Now I reckon Sudoku. Yes, this can't be a 6 anymore or more, because that would have to be a 1 2 pair, and this can't be. And it can't contribute to that because it sees a 1 2. So that is not large. That is green. That is a 1 or 2. Now green down in column 5 is here. That's a 1 or 2. We can place green in row 8. It can't be in those boxes. That cell sees both of those, so it goes in there. Then green's going to be up here somewhere. I'm going to pencil mark that now. Now that is a start. We've got some other numbers in this. Now I can do the math. Look, I've got, no, forget that one. I've got 4 greens and 3 yellows. Could green possibly be 2? Would be up to 8. 3 yellows takes us to 11. Make the blues as small as they can be. 3 and 3, 17, 26. Yeah, we can. Okay, so I don't know which is 1 and which is 2 yet. These can't be green. That can be yellow. Okay, I don't know much about that. These either add up to 4 or 5, depending on how green and yellow are disposed. Leaves plenty of scope here. Okay, can I do more Sudoku then? Right, let's just think about that. Blue is now in one of those 2 cells. Blue also sees all of those. Can I focus again on, if blue was 4, green would have to be 1. Then on these cells would be up to 8, 12, 14, 16, 3 and 5 here. No, I've missed a yellow. If blue was 4, that's 4, 8. Green would be 1, that's 12. Yellow would be 2, that's 14, 16, 18. 3 and 5 here, 26. Can just happen. But I haven't actually checked whether any individual ones are being broken. Look, if green is 1, oh no, I was going to say blue would force this to be 7, but 7 is allowable down here. Blue and red are different, so they add up to at least 7, so this can't be 7 anymore. This is now 8 or 9. Yeah, maybe these individuals are more interesting than I thought. So if that's a 7, that's a 9. Green is 1 then. Yellow is 2 therefore. So if that's a 7, green is 1, yellow is 2. 2, 4. Blue is 3 to make the 7 work. Red is... oh, this has to be a 9, so red is 5 then, and purple is 4, and that's an 8, and that does work. That's quite likely, actually. Okay, let's try it the other way around. If... no, okay, I'm not going to try it the other way around. I don't think it helps. Gosh, this is a tough puzzle, isn't it? I don't believe I'm just missing things that are simple to see here, because I think it is difficult. Right, come on, let's come up with something else. Is it this circle? The trouble is I just don't know. If that's yellow, then that's a 1-2 pair. If that's yellow, oh look, if that's yellow, no, that sees all of these cells. That yellow sees those 2. Yellow is 1 or 2, so it can't be in the circle, and it's not green. So that is not yellow. There is not a 1-2 pair. These 2 add up to at least 7. They must be 3 and 4 at an absolute minimum. This can't be crazy high anymore. They are either 3, 4 or 3, 5. So they are from blue, red and purple. And this now is adding up to at least 3, 4 and 1 is 8. So that's 8 or 9. We've got a pair. Can this still be 7? How would that be 7? That would be 7 by 2, 1, 1, 3. Now purple would be 3. Purple would be 3. Blue would be 4. Red would be 5. And this would be broken because red and, yes, red and blue have to have the 3 between them. Otherwise they're 5 and 4 and this is broken. I haven't spotted that at all. So red and blue have the 3 and this is not 3. Therefore, 1, 2, this can't be 7 anymore. Yes. So that's an 8, 9 pair and that has to be the same digit as this one. What colour are we going for? Orange on that, 8 or 9. And it has to sit there as well by Sudoku and Knight's Move. Now this is the other 8 or 9. Okay, we're going dark grey now. That can't be in those cells or that one, so it's here in this central box. 8 or 9. So we've got a weird 8, 9 pair, even though I haven't worked out what they are. Now, purple, yeah, these 2 add up to exactly 17. Now, surely green can't be 2 anymore. 2, 4, 6. 1 there is 7. Those 2 add up to at least 7. That's 14. Plus at least 4 there is 18. We now know green is 1, finally. I mean, it's been blinking obvious for a long time, but I haven't been able to prove it. So yellow's 2. Now I've got some actual digits in the grid for the first time, half an hour into the video. Hurrah! Now, what happened to 2 up here? Yellow can't be there or there, so it's in one of those 2. Then these can't be 2, and that can't be 2, so it's in one of those 2. They can't be 2. I'm going to pencil mark it in one of those. Down here, no, don't know about that. Only those 3, bother. Those 2 can't be 2. Ah, okay, not so useful. What about these 1s? We're left with 1 there and one of them over here. So let's corner shop that. Green and grey. Yeah, the 1s are brimful of Asher at the top. Now, one of those is 3, which is either blue or red. Well, that's obvious. They can't both be purple. Is purple up there, or are they red and blue? Is blue possible? That would be interesting. If that was blue, yeah, easily. It's just ruled out of those cells. If that was red, oh, actually, no, I don't know. It's not too difficult. Purple can't be there. So if that was purple, this would have to be purple. That works all right. Okay, don't know. Now, how about these totals? 2, 3, 4, 7 or 8 for this one. Oh, so that's not where the 9 is, and we knew there was a 9 in between these, so this is 9. And red and blue are a 3-4 pair. Yes, of course they are. That's become clear. Gosh, just need to do some maths now. They mean that purple is 5, this digit is a 9, the orange, well, we got that actually from here, so we can put in 9, this dark grey is 8. And these are 3 and 4, which are red and blue, so they are not purple, and we know which way round they go. Yes, yes we do. Now this one, oh, I still don't know if this is 7 or 8, good grief. Okay, this is 8, I can do that. So I can't still analyse red and blue down. That's so strange. I've been certain from the beginning that blue would be 3, and I'm really not. I mean, why should that be a... Oh, maybe that can't be an 8. It can't. That's brilliant. Look, if that was an 8, this 8 sees all of those cells. This 8 would then see that cell. 8 in the top box would be in one of those places, and that leaves nowhere for 8 in box 4, if that was 8 as well, because that sees all of those 3 cells. That is, that's tricky, but that is fine. This is not 8. This is 7. I was wrong about blue. No, I was right about blue the whole time. Blue is a 3. Red is a 4. Okay, surely we've got something to go on. And I will stop calling you Shirley. 2, 3, 8, 4, 5. Now this 7, is that? It can't go there or there. So 7's in one of those 2. They don't, well, they both see that and that. Not very helpful. Right, let's just try and keep this momentum going. 8 is in one of those 2. We've got 9 there, so 9 can't be in any of those cells. Oh, come on. Now, 8 was interesting. Yes, look, 8 can't be in those because of that, or there because of that. So, 8's in one of those 3. Now, I know that with this pattern, those must contain an 8, because if they didn't, this would be 8, and then it couldn't go anywhere here. So one of those is an 8. So all that's telling me, I think, is that 8 is not in this cell that I didn't know before. I don't think that's very interesting. Pity. It felt like something that had identified. Okay, what did you... Some digit is shouting at me. I'm sorry if you can see it. Ooh, look, 9 in this column. That 9 sees those 3 cells. That's beautiful. That 9 sees all of those. So this is a 9. I mean, I know that 9 sees one of them too. I'm going to keep going with the colouring. So one of these 2's a 9. Now, this one sees all of those cells. Ah, that's good. Because 9 in this column is now fixed. There it is. And then 9 is in one of those 2. I'm going to pencil mark it this time. What did we get 9 down to? One of those 3. I don't think we can do better than that yet, irritatingly. 9, 1, 7, 3. Oh, look, 2 sees all of those cells in this column. So 2 is there. Ah, that's going to fix 2 over here and not up here. Bother. But that 2 puts 2 in one of these 2. Not 1, 2. 2 can't be in those. So 2's over on this side. Doesn't help. And in one of those 3, which doesn't resolve the top one. Wow. I mean, everything you do, it looks like it's something. Oh, look, this is a 5, 6, 8 triple. Now, what I know from Night Sudoku's past is that that is going to look at that cell, which has suddenly become a naked single. It sees that 5, 6, 8 triple. It sees 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9 as well. And it is therefore a 7. Not a coloured digit. Now, 7 sees that cell and those. This one sees those 2. I can place it over there. One of those is a 7. Hasn't resolved these now. No, it hasn't done anything in box 2. I get a 7 in one of those 2 cells though. That does nothing. Right, what's going on up here now? 4, 2, 3, and I've got positions for 1, 9, and 7. So this one is from 5, 6, and 8 as well. Now, yes, that's interesting from this point of view. There's, obviously we've seen that triple of 5, 6, 8, but actually this is a triple as well. They all see each other, and therefore this, oh, I suppose the simple thing to do is to go, where is this digit in those 3? Well, it can't be there or there. So those 2 are the same colour. Now I am running out of colours because I've been profligate with the colours. I'm going to go dark grey and take 8 out of the colour scheme. Just don't need it anymore because those 2, well, they might be 8, but they are the same. And whatever that is in one of these 2 cells. It could be 8. Doesn't help. No, I don't know. It's down here. Maybe that wasn't a useful bit of information. Okay, 4, 5, and 6 are the digits left to place in the middle box. Down here, 4, 9, 1, 5, 2, 7. These are from 3, 6, and 8. Up here, 1, 7, 9, 2, 4, 8. These are from, well, 3, 5, or 6. Obviously that can't be a 3 sitting next to a 3, so that is 5 or 6. Now, what else can we do? No, I do not know. Bother. That can't be 5. Sorry, that's just ordinary tedious Sudoku from that. This is probably where my mouse is sitting over something that's totally obvious and I can't see it for love or money. But this does happen. Now it's sitting over an 8. I don't think that means 8 is here necessarily. Or that it's not actually. I mean, 8's obviously in one of those cells, but they don't all see that one. So I think 8 can still be in any of those 3. If it's there, it's also there. If 8's in one of those 2. Oh, yeah, no, not quite. 1, 7, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 9 can't be there. So 9 is in one of these end cells. 4, 5. Okay, whatever's here, which isn't 1, 2, 3, 7 or 8, it sees all of these cells. So it could be 4 or 5. Okay, that's just nonsense. But there are these interesting patterns to be spotted occasionally. Now, if this was anything from 4, 5, 6 or 8, and the only other possibility is 9, but if it was anything from 4, 5, 6 or 8, that's a quad, and then this is a 3, 9 pair, and that's actually obvious. That doesn't prove anything. Right, 3 can't be in those cells, so 3 is in one of those two. I hadn't noticed that before. That puts 3 in one of those two, and they both see this cell. Aha! So that's not 3. So now 3 is here, and that is blue. This is nothing. That doesn't fix my 9's problem at all. Okay, these are from 4, 5, 6 and 8. I don't. One of them's a 4 as well. 7. Oh, good grief. I just don't know how to get going again. Oh, that 4 can't be in any of those places. So 4 is in one of those two spots. Those both see this cell, so that's not a 4. And those 5 or 6 are not the same because they're a knight's move apart. So they are a pair that stop 5 or 6 being in some places. Now, is that anywhere useful? Well, this can't be 5 or 6. They both see that. So it is not 1, 2, 3 or 4 or 9. So it's 7 or 8. Oh no, it's not 8. It is 7. That becomes a naked single with that weird 5, 6 pair. Now, are they acting anywhere else? Because they look interesting. How about here? They both see that, which now can't be 5, 6, 2, 3, 8, 1, 9. So it's 4 or 7. I don't know which. Now, let's use this 7. I haven't used that at all. I just put it in. How do we use it? How? This is not 7 anymore. So this is now 5, 6, or 9. Oh, goodness. Did I pull in teeth? 4, 9, 1, 5. Now, one of those is an 8. So these others are from 2, 3, 6, 7. That is 2, 3, or 6. Let's keep thinking about this 5, 6 pair. It might see something else. I mean, they see both of these cells. Yeah, that is naked as well. It is. It sees 8, 3, 9, 1 in the column, 2, 7 in the row. That 5, 6 pair, that is a 4. Oops. So that's 7 now. This is not 4. We can place 4 in the central box. Oh, come on. 4 is now in one of those two cells. Yes, we can finish off the column with 2 and 7. That 2 means that's not a 2. Does it mean anything else? No, really not. 2 is now in one of these two cells. No, that doesn't do anything. Right, 3, 5 and 6 are a triple up here. That can't be 5, sorry. We've got a 2, 3, 6 triple in the column. But these very separated triples don't do so much. Now, have I finished with this 5, 6 pair? I mean, they've looked at lots of stuff for me. Is there? No, I don't think there's anywhere else that they see together that I haven't used. Thank you, 5, 6 pair, though. You were very nice. But I still have to keep finding stuff. Puzzle will not. This puzzle won't collapse. You really get that impression from early on. 7 is in one of those two and one of those 3. Okay, let's keep colouring the 4s. I don't know why. One of those, yeah, what about here? Ah, 4 is now in one of those 2. That's not that helpful down here, but it's also not here, because that, oh, that's not 8 either. Oh, it's another 5, 6, but I don't know what type of 5, 6, so I can't relate it to those, I don't think. Oh, 8. No, I was just seeing that can't be 8 and thinking that mattered. 1, 4, 9, 2, 8. No, it's not helpful. Does one of those have to be 8? 8 can't be there or there. No, I don't think it does. 4 has to be in one of those cells and one of those 2, and the trail runs dry. Well, one of those 3, but they're not going to all see the same cell anywhere. Oh look, that 5, 6 pair, which I have been very obvious, they're both looking at that cell, so that is 4 or 8. Now, if it's 8, then we get 8 in one of those 2. No, I don't know, it's not doing anything else. Crumbs. You just have to keep sweating at this. One of those is a 3. Now the other could be 5 or 6 if it's different from this one. Can that be a 5, 6 pair? Haven't actually got any 6s placed fully in the grid. Got lots and lots of, they're kind of mucking up the cells that would otherwise be resolved, I suppose. Now maybe think about this grey digit. It has to be one of those 2, and over here, and it's down here. Nah, it's no use. Right, these can't be 4, 3, 7, 1, 2 or 9. So they're from 5, 6, 8, and this one can't be a 5, so it is 6 or 8. So if that was 6, we'd know it was an 8. And that would be an 8. It's getting quite claustrophobic. If that's a 6, we've got 6 in one of those 2. That can't be a... Oops, that's not what I was trying to do. If that's a 6, one of those is 6. This one can't be a 6. Oh, there's that get out at the top. I mean, it's amazing. Got loads of digits in this grid and not a Scooby how to finish it at the moment. Oh, come on. Think again then. Think on. Now that can't be in either of those cells, so it's one of those 2. So it's not 9. Is that right? Have I gone mad? This digit, whatever it is, 5, 6, 8 or 9, can't be in those cells. Oh no, so it could be 9. Sorry, I have gone mad. Absolutely raving. Good thing I checked through that. They can't be 9, so one of those 2 is, but they are widely disparate. If that was 2, that would push 9 here. I don't think that would tell me anything actually, that being a 9. That being a 9 would make that a 9, which would make that a 9 and that one. Is there any problem with that? interestingly, that would make this cell a 7, because that 9 would push 2 into the corner. That's, oh no, yeah, that would make this a 7, and that would make that a 7, and that. Oh, that's interesting. No, it's not. I was just, no, sorry. I was just thinking maybe everything forced that to be a 7, but no, I'd recomputed the same case twice and thought I'd come up with a different conclusion, or with the same conclusion with the 2 different cases, and I definitely hadn't. Right, come on. Come on, Mark. One of these is a 4. One of these is a 4 in the row. One of these is a 4. One of these 3 is a 4, and lots of possible 4s down here. Finished the arrows long ago. There's not anything outstanding there. Just going to have to find some sort of forcing chain again. I mean, I found a few. I was happy with the 5-6 pair. Oh, that's interesting. If that's a 6, that forces 6 to here, then that's a 6. That's very specific. Now, is there a problem with that? Can't see it. Doesn't rule grey out from being a 6, dark grey. It doesn't, oh, let's colour that. I've got nothing else to do but a bit of fancy schmancy colouring. 1, 4, 7, 5. I do want to get through this. It's been a lovely puzzle. Come on. Must be one more thing to see. Well, I say at least 4. I mean, I bet this is a 1. If that wasn't a 1, you'd have 1, 4, 9 across the top. Now maybe think about that being a 9, because it forces a 9 here. So you'd get 9, 1, 4 in this column. Oh, if that's a 4, that has to be a 4. So what? I just don't know the answer to this. Is there some... this triple? No, not that triple. 1 in one of those cells. I definitely don't think it's anything to do with 1s. 5 or 6 there. Now, could this be a 5 or 6? If it was, it would be the same as that. Okay, let's get rid of all the colouring we've done. In fact, let's get rid of all the colouring we've done, literally. Forget it. I'm going to recolour those 2 that are the same. Now, 5s and 6s, I've been planning to sort of vaguely colour them for a while, and I'm finally going to do it. Purple and yellow. So purple there. I mean, I don't think I can continue really, but purple down here as well. That cell sees all of those, so they can't be purple. Yellow is in one of these 2, obviously, because it's not purple. So then it's in one of these 2, because it can't be grey. Oh, and also one of these 3. So this is true. These are all yellow in some, you know, some One of those two, one of those two. Now, did they see anything? They both see that, but I knew that wasn't yellow anyway. They both see that, but that's already a 7. Silly digit. Ah, these three all see, they'll see that, but it's in the same row as a given yellow. Oh, gosh. This purple sees all of those digits. So that means purple's in one of those places. Ah, if one of those was purple, then they can't be purple. So purple would have to be here, so it would be that. Okay, so this row 7, column 9 can't be purple. That would put purple here. In one of those two. Oh, and that would mean there was nowhere for purple in row 5, because those two both see row 5, column 2. Gosh, okay, where did that chain start? I said if purple was in one of those two cells, and it all went wrong. If purple was in one of those two, then they can't be purple, so that's purple. Yes, so that's purple, and that's purple, and one of, in fact, it would be there. And now there is nowhere in row 5 for purple. Right. So purple is not in those two cells. We also know it's not in those, so that's purple. Come on, do some work. Yes, that's purple. That's purple. Grey, no, hang on, it can't be. Ah. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I've broken it a different way. What this would do is mean there was nowhere for purple in box 4. So it's wrong. Now, why is it wrong? And it's wrong because I said that purple had to be here. It doesn't. It can be 5, and it is. Wow. Okay, so this is a chain where if purple is 6, then that's purple. As we've seen, that becomes purple, and now there's nowhere for purple in box 4. That can't be purple because it's the same as that, and purple dies. So these are not purple, and purple is 5, and that'll do. I'm using it. 5 there, 6 in yellow. Come on then. I mean, does it really matter? That's the trouble. That's the painful thing here, is knowing which digit is which is probably not important. I actually have to effectively colour the whole grid somehow. But I'm going to still keep trying to do that. Well, this has become purple now. So now they can't be purple. Come on, let's keep going. One of these 3 is purple. One of these 3 is purple. That looks a bit more relevant. Oh, that's not a 5 now. It's not purple. If purple is there, that can't be purple. One of these 3 is purple. Come on. Oh, that's not 6. So grey is not 6. Well, yeah, we sort of knew that. We've got this 3-6 pair at the top. That means 3 and 6 are separate columns at the bottom. I think I knew that, actually. That can't be 6 now. That is 5 or 9. Right, so we've got to still place 4, 6 and 8 down here. 4 has to be in one of those two. Oh, I don't believe it. That was not a, you know, I suppose it placed this purple, but I wish that had done more for me than it did. Purple's in one of those 3. I should grey those out as well. Oh, rats. Maybe I can come up with something on these being the same. If they're 8s, then that's a 6. This has to be, that becomes a 5, so this has to be a 9. So if grey is 8, that's a 9, this is 5, that's yellow, which makes that yellow, and that yellow, as we knew. One of those yellow, that's going to mean one of those is yellow in row 7. No, I don't know what that does. This can't be 8, 7, 1, 4, 9, 2, but it can still be 3. I thought it couldn't be 3, but it can. Oh, it'd be very helpful if it couldn't be 3. This is 4 or 8. Wow. How about this? Can that, does it fail if that's a 6-8 pair? That would be quite interesting if that was the case. If that was a 6-8 pair, what would they see? They'd see all of these cells. None of those could be 6 or 8. So these two would be 4 and 9. That's if this is 6 or 8. These two would be 4 and 9. They have 7, 6 there. Oh, 4, 9. What's wrong with you? 5. Ah! I mean, definitely at some point during this solve, I have missed something just glaring. I mean, you know, that is the way of the world. I'm not going to be able to see everything that emerges, I'm afraid. That is 6 or 9 just by Sudoku. Now, that digit can't be in those cells, so whatever it is in one of these two. And somewhere in these 3. Doesn't do anything, does it? I don't think it does. Oh, crumbs. This is wearing me down now. Mila, you are very cruel to me. That is a 1 or a 6, just blatantly. This, trouble is, oh, well, it sees a 3-6 pair there. So it's not 3, 2, 6, 4 or 7, but that's not ruling out much stuff. So 6 is definitely in one of the, oh yes, we know 6 is yellow, of course, so it's got to be in one of those. Now, if that was a 6, then 6 has to be in one of these two. And one of those two. And one of those two. Which was obvious anyway. And one of these 3. That's if this is a 6. If that's a 6, 6 has to be in one of those two. And then this has to be 8, which is interesting. That's quite a strong, because it can't be 6 anymore. So if 6 is there, it's in one of those two and not here. So if that's a 6, which makes this an 8, then this becomes an 8. That's where 8 goes in that box. So this is quite a stretch if this is an 8 in box 1. 8 goes there. One of those two, one of those two, and one of those 3, and it's, oh, come on. Come on, why not? Bet there is a good reason why not. Okay, I can't see what it is. It's not, it's actually, you know, there are puzzles I feel like, oh, I'm just going to give it up. This one isn't. This one is, I'm going to spot what it is at some point. I feel like it's there to get. This is 5 or 7. It can't be anything else. I mean, one of these things is going to suddenly be really extremely relevant. This is 3, 5 or 6. I said that earlier, but I didn't mark them in. 2. So, if one of 4 or 8 is there, the other is down here somewhere. It's amazing in some ways. I haven't finished, I don't think I've finished off any single digit completely. That feels really strange in this puzzle. It feels like you've done enough work to have got several of them, but not quite all. But apparently not. If that's a 7, you get 7 here and 7 here, and they're all done. That doesn't really do anything else to anything else. So it's probably right. But if that's a 7, I don't know. That doesn't actually do much to anything else either. 5, 6, 8 or 9. One of these is 4. What use is it to me? Nothing. One of these is 9. So can one of these be 9? Is this a little 9 2 by 2 with a pair of them in which case it would be, no, I don't know, I was going to say 9, 9, 2 and 7, but it wouldn't need to have a 2 in it still. If that's a 9, that's a 9. Doesn't determine anything else. Puts one of those and one of that, gives me an X-wing on 9s. I mean, that's probably right then. So maybe I should think about that being a 9 and that being a 9, but I don't think that does anything different. It makes that a 6. Okay, that's interesting. If this is a 9, it places 6, 2, 5. If that's a 9, 6 there, 5 there. So that has to be 8 suddenly. Then we get 5, 9, 6 there. I think this is quite pressured. If that's a 9, we get 5, 8, 9, 4, 6, 7. It deploys everything into box 6 entirely. So let me just do that again. If it's a 9, because of 6 there, we go 5, 8, 4, 6, 9, 7. So this is 8, 6, 7, 9, 1, 2. And then you'd have 3, 4, 5 at the top, which would run upwards. And that would be 7, and that would be 6. And this would be 1, and that would be 8. I'm virtually filling in the whole grid hypothetically. Okay. Maybe we should think about whether that can be 5 or 6, because that would create another of these 5, 6 pairs, which actually did some work earlier. That would have to be, I don't know, 5, 6 pair there. Is it interesting? Stops that being a 5. That doesn't feel thrilling. I don't know. Still, I don't know. Honestly, I've been not knowing stuff in this puzzle for a good long while now. Good grief, what on earth is going on? 8 in this column is in one of those 3, they all see that cell. But I knew that couldn't be 8. I might have done that exact. No, I knew it from there. They don't all see anything else that's interesting, even though 8 is one of the items I have very few of in the bottom of the grid, and it would be good to learn something about it. Oh, now one of those had to be an 8, so if that's a 4, that would be an 8. 7, 4, 8, 9, 1. Then no, I can't see anything compelling. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. If it really is something obvious, then it's just been painful for ages, but I honestly suspect it's not something totally obvious. And you can snigger, oh look, 6 is looking at that cell, that's fairly obvious. Does that actually help though? So if this was a purple 5, that's 3. 5 is now in the top row up there, and this grey becomes a 5. Well, that's quite interesting. So this is all if we have a 3. Is it? No, I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying if row 5, column 8 is a 5, then we're getting 5s there, and we're going to get a 5 in one of these cells. Now what does that do to everything else? Puts a 9 up here. That would be 1 or 8 in the top. I don't know. I don't know. It feels like that's quite strong. So I'm going to think about that for a little bit longer, painful as it may be. It really is all about whether this grey cell is 5 or 8, isn't it? But if this row 5, column 8 is a 5, come on, let's highlight the 5s we've got, just in case that reminds me of anything I can't see. It is actually quite likely to be a 5, I fear. Okay, if it's a, yeah, it's likely to be a 5 because they're already ruled out by that one, so there's no harm in ruling them out from there. So if it's a 6, we get a 6 in one of those 2 cells, a 6 in one of these 2. Got to have a 6 in one of those. Oh look, we can't have a 6 in one of these, because 6 is in one of these 3 cells in box 4, and they see both of those. Wow, right, well I've done it, but my goodness, that took some time. Right, so 6 is in, no, is not in those 2 cells. So first of all, that's an 8. Let's do what that requires us to do. But that is not a 6 still. So 6 is in one of these 3 cells, which is a lot to mark, but they all see that, and that is now 5 and is purple. I think this is going to actually finish the puzzle. I mean, and I say that in all knowledge that nothing I've done so far did finish the puzzle. That's not a 5, and it's not purple. One of those is purple. Now, if it was that, we'd get a 5 here, and we can't, because this is not a 5 and that's not a 5. The 5 in the row is there, so this dark grey is purple, whatever that means. That's nothing. These are 5s. That's a 3. That's not. This is also not a 5. This is 6 or 8. We must be getting somewhere on 5s. One of these 2 is a 5. Bother. One of these 2 is a 5, so it's a 5-7 pair now. So that's not a 5, that's a 9. This one is not 9 or 5. Ooh, that's a horrible chocolatey teapot triple. This is 1 or 8. Come on, what's the 6 situation now? Come on, 6s. Right, none of these are 6. So 6 has to be in one of these and also in one of these. That means it's in the overlap here. That's a 9. This is not necessarily a 2 yet. But the 9, surely that was going to fix something for me. No, not really. Bother. Gives me this X-wing on 9s. Okay, so 9s aren't finished. Come on, we are finishing now though, surely. 2-3 pair on the ends of this column. Row. That's a row, not a column. I really am a bit fried at this point. 1, 4, 6 here. Well, those, no, they have to include 4, but they don't have to include 6 yet. Oh, don't tell me it didn't finish the puzzle. 2 and 3. 3 is in one of those 2 cells. That's an X-wing with the... Ah, this is a 2-3 pair. So that 7 is now in one of those 2, one of those 2, and one of those 2. Doesn't finish. 6, 9, 2, 1, 3. So 5 is placed in this box now, so that's good. And therefore here, let's colour them purple, because I am at least keeping up the 5 colouring. So 4, 8, 7 here. That is 4 or 8, obviously. These is a 7, 2, 1, 3. Oh, that can't be 1 anymore. So 1's obviously, well, it's an X-wing up there, and it's probably been the case for ages. I just haven't marked it. This is 4 or 6 by Sudoku. So is this. Ah, do they both see the same cell? No. Yes, they do both see that, so that can't be a 6 at least. Oh, 6 no, or 7 no. Ah, one of these had to be an 8. Yes, 8 is seeing that cell, of course, so that is an 8. And that makes this a 4 and this a 6. And now, surely, I promised I wouldn't call you that, we are getting there. This is not 6. 2, 3 pair, so that's now a 2, 3 pair, and this is 4, yes. This is just things I can't see as they emerge. 6, 8, 9 are a triple. That can't be 8, so it's 6 or 9. Let's take out the corner marks in all of these cells because I just don't think I'm using them anymore. Or there. But I do think I'm getting close now. Really do. Now, something will be very blatant. Yes, 3 is looking at that cell. That is what I call very blatant. 2, 3... That's a 3. That's finishing box 8. What have we got here? 7 and 8. Oh, they're not resolved. But we are going to finish. 9, 4, 1, 6, 8, 9. No. Oh, yes. 6 here has given us the 3 and 6. That means this can't be 6. So 6 is in this column. And that means this is 6, and that fixes 7. That's not 6, that's a 4, 8 pair, 9. Right, let's get rid of some colouring. 6 is in one of those. Okay, no, don't worry about 6s. 4 and 8. 7 is there, so this is 5. In fact, that was the last 5 and 7 in the grid, so not a thrilling conclusion. This isn't 6, so it's not coloured. These are, so I might as well give them a yellow tinge. That's a 9. There we go. That fixes this triple. Right, so we'll get rid of that. We'll make those 2 fully yellow, and that one, and this one, and not that one. And we are going to be done now, thank goodness. 8 there, 6, 1, 8, 6, 4, 1. If you have stayed with me to the end of this marathon, which I don't know why it was a marathon, thank you very much. That is a tough puzzle, Mila. I mean, it's probably not as tough as I made it towards the end, but any of these things that you have to spot with knight's move, pairs and constraints, they are very difficult, and I don't feel too embarrassed. I mean, sometimes I do with a slow solve. Not totally this time. Little bit, but not totally. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.